October.
Conference will now be recorded.
Uh, Important updates this week as we head towards the latter part of October. We have a limited flash flood threat areas west of the Mississippi River and south of I-20. That's primarily going to be Saturday evening through Sunday morning. And otherwise, fall-like temperatures seasonal are expected through the next 7. Our key messages highlights: the cold front is going to move across the forecast area Saturday night and into Sunday. And that's going to bring that flash flood threat. It's not going to be widespread, and it is a very limited look. And I'll show you a graphic on that in just a moment. But primary area we're looking for, again, to the west and south, and again, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Seasonal temperatures, and that's going to be highs around in the 70s and lows in the 50s continue. And we'll have a few rain chances sort of lingering beyond the weekend into midweek, but we'll see it dramatically taper off at that time. So here's what your fronts are going to be looking like over the next couple of days. You can see we have this area of low pressure that's really going to be getting itself together over portions of west central Texas. And then as we do that, we're going to have this warm front that attempts to make a move into southern portions of the state of Mississippi and northeast Louisiana parishes. But that's going to have a bit of a problem making much inland progress, in large part to that area of high pressure you see over the New England states and eastern portions of Canada. That's sort of pushing the cooler air that we're experiencing now and kind of locking it into place, so that warm air from the Gulf has a harder time getting in. But along and near that front, it will be triggering quite heavy rains at times, including thunderstorms. And if there were to be a risk of any strong or severe storms, it would be near and to the south of that frontal boundary. And you can see right now we're not expecting it to make much northward progress, but we'll be keeping an eye on that should that change. So here's what your flood graphic looks like, and you'll notice it looks very similar to where that front is expected to be. That front is going to be, that warm front will be the focal point for some of these heavier rains. 2 to 3 inches of rain is possible in a short amount of time, a couple of hours, with some of these little thunderstorms that develop along that warm front and that cold front that comes in behind it. Isolated amount of 4 to 5 inches are possible, and that's really where we think if we get those higher amounts, that's where we might see some flash flooding, particularly if that happens in your low-lying or your urban areas. So here's your precipitation expectation with that slow-moving cold front and warm front. You said bullseye is really to our west, portions near Shreveport and to the south, and then across the southern plains are going to be near that area of low pressure for a more extended period of time, and that's going to allow them to accumulate higher totals. But we're still expecting most places to see around 1/4 of an inch, but as you go increasingly westward, you could get in that 2 to 3 inch range and possibly 4 to 5 inches, depending on exactly how it sets up. And just one more reminder, the timing for that Saturday evening into Sunday morning. And this is a brief look at what that might look like in terms of your temperatures, and then below that, your probability of precipitation. And again, you see the highs in the 70s and lows in the 50s and a few 60s. But as you see, we head towards the end of the period, Thursday of next week, you see temperatures begin to drop quite a bit as that rainfall comes to an end, heading into the middle and latter part of next week. And that's going to be associated with that area of high pressure that comes in behind the cold front. And so we'll see a pretty good drop off in temperatures in most places, likely end up in the 40s by Thursday morning. One more, just look at that, a different perspective. You can kind of get the weather forecast graphic at the bottom. It says much the same. Looking a little bit longer, once we start to turn the corner, those temperatures and behind that front will be somewhat near normal. Have a couple of nights maybe a little below, and a couple of days that are a little above as they're fairly dry. Precipitation chances maybe a slightly above normal, but pretty close. So we're looking at a pretty seasonal outlook for the next 7 to 10 days. And I'm sure a lot of people are curious about this. We're going to touch on it just real briefly. This is Tropical Storm Melissa down in the deep Caribbean. Interest in Jamaica and surrounding areas, the Greater Antilles, including Haiti and Cuba. And then eventually perhaps to the Bahamas. Major concerns in that area. But as far as the Gulf and the Mississippi Gulf Coast and surrounding areas, this should stay well east and away, as is often the case. Those fronts we talked about doing a good job of kicking things eastward. But this could be a major hurricane in the next couple of days. And so interest down there are going to have to pay close attention to Melissa. Just one one time, just real quick, just to cover things up. Again, this is a weekend event, Saturday night, Sunday, heavy rain, thunderstorms, not anticipating severe storms, but we can't rule it out yet. And we're watching how far that warm front can make it in. So pay attention to updates as those come along as we head into tomorrow and Saturday. Seasonal temperatures are likely high 70s, low 50s, but it does turn colder towards the end of the period.